Hi, Total Recapped here. Today, we will be going through the events of the 2013 fantasy adventure movie Percy Jackson: Sea of Monsters, directed by Thor Freudenthal. Warning, this video contains spoilers, so watch at your own risk. Now, let's get right into the movie. The movie begins with a scene from 7 years ago, where we are shown 4 children running at night towards the camp Half-Blood. It is the place where children of the Titans and humans known as Demigods live. Demigods have the power like Titans and the appearance like humans. The children are running away from a large monster, Cyclopes. The running children are none other than the younger version of Luke, Percy, Annabeth, and Zeus's daughter, Thalia. Thalia decides to fight the Cyclops and asks the other children to run for their safety inside the camp. The other 3 successfully enter the camp, but Thalia gets killed by the monster. A devastated Zeus does not let the death of his daughter go in vain, and also does not want any monster in the future to enter the camp and kill other demigods. So he creates a protective shield right where Thalia gets killed. The shield protects the camp from any other monsters, and only Titans and demigods could surpass the shield. The story shifts to the present time, where we are shown the demigods are happy and enjoying their life inside the camp. As usual, they are practicing for the fight and sharpening their abilities. Here we are introduced to a beautiful girl named Clarice, the daughter of the god of war. She defeats Percy in the challenge, and Percy is called to meet Mr. D, the camp director, in his cabin. He, along with Annabeth and Grover, believe that he is called to the cabin because he has made some mistake during the training. Upon reaching the cabin, Sharon reveals to Percy that he is not the only son of Poseidon, but he has a brother too. Percy's brother does not appear to be like a normal human, and he has a single eye. He is a Cyclope, according to Greek mythology, who are the monsters who live in forests and are known to eat humans. Clarice comes to the 2 brothers and makes fun of the Cyclope. The Cyclope brother of Percy, named Tyson, just says that he is sensing something and spells the word bull. After that, all the demigods realize that something terrible is about to enter their camp. Despite the protective shield around the camp, a big mechanical bull enters the camp and starts destroying it. It starts to attack the children and throw them around. When the bull is about to attack Clarice, Tyson comes to her rescue and grabs the bull's horns. He is unaffected by the fire of the bull, being the son of Poseidon. Everyone in the camp tries to kill the bull, but fails. Later, Percy catches the eye of the bull and it starts running towards him. Just when the bull is about to kill Percy with the help of a machine fit inside of it, Percy takes his pen sword and throws it inside as soon as the bull opens its mouth. The pen enters inside the bull and, after becoming a sword, destroys every bit of the bull. Meanwhile, Luke appears and Percy is surprised to see him alive. Percy inquires Luke if he is the one who disabled the protective shield. After that, Luke just asks Percy to join his team and also mentions that some of the demigods from the camp want to join him. He further adds that together they can all make the prophecy true, and tells Percy that he must have known about the prophecy. Percy, however, knows nothing about the prophecy, but can surely say that the protective shield is destroyed by Luke, as he is still angry with his father Hermes. Luke wants the Titans to fight with each other and die so that the younger generation of demigods could take over the palace. After mentioning the prophecy to Percy, Luke vanishes from the place. Everyone in the camp goes out to check on Thalia and find that she has been poisoned, because of which the protective shield has gone weak. All of them agree that it is done by none other than Luke. Professor Sharon decides to prepare some solution for making the shield as strong as it was before. Percy, on the other hand, is still stuck with the thought of what the prophecy could be. Percy then goes to the professor and asks him if he has any knowledge about the prophecy. The professor sends him to a room where he can get all the information about the prophecies. In the next scene, we see Percy reaching the place as told by the professor, and there he meets with an oracle. Oracle appears to be a skeleton creature which is able to tell the future prophecies. Oracle starts telling Percy that he should be aware about the past before learning about the future. Oracle begins telling him about the past, where he tells that there used to exist a monster named Kronos before the Titans. He was so dreadful that he used to endeavor his own children. Among the children of Kronos, Poseidon, Hades, and Zeus are the ones who gathered some courage and killed their father Kronos. After killing him, they buried them under the depth of Tartarus so that he could never come back. The prophecy is that Kronos would come back one day out of the Tartarus and will be killed by one of the children of the 3 gods. The one who will win the battle would either make the Olympus prosperous or would destroy it. After hearing the prophecy from Oracle, Percy returns to the professor and asks him if he is the one to kill Kronos. Will he be able to save Olympus, or would he destroy it? When everyone is busy talking about how to make the protective shield stronger, Clarisse comes up with a special plan of bringing out the Golden Fleece, a magical cloth which, if kept above any dead, will bring them back to life. She suggests bringing the fleece and keeping it over Thalia to make the shield around the camp stronger as before. Grover, however, rejects the idea and tells Annabeth that he will not join the team going there. Mr. D explains to them that the Golden Fleece lies between the Bermuda Triangle and it's not easy to reach there. He mentions that whoever tried to enter the Bermuda Triangle has never returned back. In the assembly of the demigods, Mr. D assures everyone that they will restore the protective shield and reveals the idea of the Golden Fleece. He just wants to get credit in front of everyone and tells everyone that it's his original idea. He then selects Clarisse and another demigod to form a team and get the fleece. Although all of this is happening, Percy is still stuck thinking about the prophecy. He thinks that he is the one who can save the camp and suggests to himself that he should also go get the Golden Fleece. While Clarisse and his team set off for the fleece, Percy, accompanied by Annabeth and Grover, also leave to find the fleece. On their way, they hear someone calling them and find it to be Percy's brother Tyson. Annabeth does not like Tyson at all, but when Tyson mentions that the one guarding the Golden Fleece is also a Cyclope, they allow Tyson to be with them. As they are walking in the middle of the forest at night, they approach Gray's sisters with their flying taxi. Gray's sisters are the one who share a single eye. Percy inquires about the prophecy, they just tell him find some numbers. Although Percy and others have to go to Florida because of the lack of money, the Gray sisters leave them in the middle of the way. Afterwards, we see Percy and his team moving towards Florida, but on the way they are attacked by Luke's men and Grover is kidnapped. Luke's men are in need of Grover because the one guarding the Golden Fleece is Polyphemus, a Cyclope who likes to eat satyr like Grover. Annabeth suggests to Percy that for getting further information about Luke, then they should go to a store nearby which is run by Hermes. They reach the store and after meeting Hermes, tell him about the protective shield and Grover being kidnapped by Luke. Percy also mentions that Luke is still angry with Hermes for all of his deeds. Hermes tells Percy that he is also annoyed by the actions of Luke and he doesn't listen to him anymore. Hermes decides to help Percy and tells him the current location of Luke. He tells him that Luke is currently on a tour in the middle of an ocean. As Percy and his team are leaving, Hermes hands them some gifts. He gives a magical tape-like thing to Percy, which can make anything disappear if placed onto it. Hermes presents Annabeth with a bottle and asks her to open it if she is in need of the wind. In the next scene, we see Percy and the team have to go to the middle of the ocean to get Luke, but are unable to get there by themselves. Meanwhile, Tyson starts talking with the water. Being the son of Poseidon, he calls out his father's name and tells him that they need to reach the middle of the ocean. Just then, a horse-like sea creature, Hippocampus, emerges from the ocean and carries them to the boat where they could find Luke. After reaching the boat, as they are searching for Grover, one of Luke's creatures smells them and they are spotted by the team. The three of them are captured and brought in front of Luke. There, Luke discloses that he is planning to wake up Kronos with the help of a team full of demigods. He adds that if Kronos is once awake, he will kill all the Titans and destroy Olympus to fulfill his revenge. His plan is to conquer and rule Olympus after the death of the Titans and asks Percy to join his team. Percy directly refuses his request, and Annabeth tries to make Luke remember how Thalia was killed in front of their eyes. Luke shouts at Annabeth for teaming up with a Cyclope, Tyson, because Thalia was killed by a Cyclope. Later, we see Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson trapped inside the cage from where they need to get out of. Percy tries to use his power of water to create some deadly waves in the ocean. Because of the waves, the boat shakes and Percy is able to get his hand on his bag with the help of Annabeth. Percy then takes out the magical tape gifted by Hermes and uses it to make the door of the cage disappear. Percy brings out Annabeth and Tyson too and asks them to escape away from there with him following them. Annabeth and Tyson succeed in getting into a boat and run away with the help of Hermes' gifted bottle of wind. Percy, on the other hand, gets surrounded by Luke's men but eventually manages to get away surfing on the surface of the water. Luke follows him, but as Percy has the ability to use water as a weapon, he attacks Luke with it and makes him fall into the ocean. Running away from Luke, Percy and his team reach the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, where they feel like a storm is about to approach them. Right then, they are also surrounded by a large number of sharks. Percy and Tyson cannot use any other power here because they are surrounded by the monsters of the ocean. Being on the boat, they are sucked inside the stomach of the monster. There, they meet with Clarisse's team, who had set off to get the Golden Fleece. All of them get together and plan their ways to get out of the monster. Percy starts firing the machine gun placed on Clarice's boat to the monster's stomach until it makes a hole. Clarice drives the boat through the hole and they are able to get their boat out to the surface of the ocean. In the next scene, the whole team reaches the island with an amusement park in it. After stepping there, they get to witness a complete destruction of the park. After sharing a ride inside, they find Grover dressed as a lady Cyclops trying to amuse Polyphemus to remain alive. He was pretending to be a female Cyclops the whole time, as the Cyclops' eyesight is weak because of hunger. Grover tries to distract him, and in the meantime, others try to get the Golden Fleece out from his shoulder. As Clarice and Percy try to use a hook to get the fleece, Polyphemus notices and attacks them. Meanwhile, Tyson tries to talk with Polyphemus, being a Cyclops himself, and allows Percy to snatch the fleece away from Polyphemus' shoulders. Polyphemus punches Tyson and runs behind the fleece. The group pass the fleece towards each other to distract Polyphemus. Finally, they succeed to get away with the fleece and trap him inside his location. As soon as they get out, they are attacked by Luke's army, during which Tyson gets shot and falls down the ridge. The whole team is then captured by Luke and kept hostage. Percy is sad and blames himself for all that has happened with his brother Tyson. He also thinks that he is the one destroying Olympus, handing the fleece to Luke. Seeing Percy demotivated, Annabeth tries to motivate him, to which Grover and Clarice agree. All of them vote for him to be their leader. When Luke places the Golden Fleece over Kronos, Percy gets his pen sword and cuts the ropes that tied them. Percy then notices that Kronos pieces are getting assembled to form his whole body. He moves forward to fight with Luke's men and take away the Golden Fleece. Luke stops Percy and starts fighting with them. When Luke is about to attack him with a sword, Tyson arrives there and stops Luke. He grabs Luke by his neck and throws him away on the ground. Percy is surprised to see him alive. Tyson mentions that as he is the son of Poseidon, water healed him to remain alive. The bromance is interrupted by a blast of Kronos pieces, which then starts assembling to form Kronos. Luke approaches Kronos and mentions to him that he is the one who made him alive. Kronos tells him that he is his favorite and eats him in a gulp. Everyone there gets frightened to see this and starts running away from Kronos. Grover also gets eaten by Kronos. Percy then grabs his sword and moves forward to attack Kronos. When he launches his first attack on Kronos' feet, the pieces of his feet fly back to the box from where he came from. Seeing this, Percy realizes that it is the same sword used to kill Kronos previously. When Kronos is about to eat Percy, keeping him on his palm, he jumps from the palm and stabs the sword into Kronos' chest, tearing him apart. The power of Kronos starts to decrease and his pieces fly to the box. Grover and Luke are also freed and land on the ground. Grover lands beside Percy, whereas Luke lands inside the location of Polyphemus, who's happy to get the half-blood as his dinner. Meanwhile, Annabeth gets attacked by a hellhound and dies. Grover and Clarice try to fight with the hellhound and Clarice succeeds in killing it. Percy hurriedly places the Golden Fleece above Annabeth, which makes her alive again. After that, they return to the camp where Clarice is given the honor to place the fleece over Thalia. As soon as the fleece is placed over Thalia, the protective shield reactivates. Everyone is happy to see this, and they all start to celebrate. After some time, Percy is informed by Grover that the fleece turns out to be more powerful than they thought, as it revived Thalia. Percy then thinks that now there are two living childs of the three gods, and according to the Oracle, a battle should happen between them, and the movie ends. And that was my recap of the movie, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now comment on what your favorite part was, and make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, take care, and goodbye.